Hey everyone, this is Dan Rohan from the product team here at Kentik. Today I'm excited to show off our brand new hybrid map that we launched recently for existing customers and plan on rolling out to everyone at the end of July alongside our brand new Kentik Synthetics product. So these are super exciting times for us here at Kentik. We've got some great stuff coming out immediately and an amazing roadmap to look forward to over the next few quarters. So definitely stay tuned and connect with us on Slack or reach out to our customer success team if you want to know more about anything that you see here today. So with that said, let's jump in and learn more about our hybrid map. So just what is the hybrid map and what can it do for you? Well, the way that we like to think of this is that the hybrid map allows you to visualize every aspect of your hybrid environment, showing the traffic, the health, and the performance of that environment. And to us, that means your on-prem network, your cloud infrastructure, and the internet. And when you put all that together, Kentik can give you a fast and complete understanding of how these components are interconnected and how this affects traffic patterns for application delivery and customer experience. So we built the new hybrid map to help with the challenges that network operators told us they were facing when managing a hybrid environment. First, they said, the network's no longer theirs. It's no longer a thing that they fully control. And with new technologies like software-defined networking, SD-WAN, SDX, application overlays, containerization, microsegmentation, understanding traffic flows across this kind of network is already plenty challenging. But then if you add in the complexities that are introduced by the cloud, like unlimited scalability and flexibility, alongside all of the managed software and platforms that your teams are probably already using or inevitably will use, gaining a sense of how this network is supposed to work at any given time is nearly impossible. And that's not it. We know from talking to you that it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 or even more tools to effectively manage this kind of environment. You've got your cloud-specific monitoring tools that will only work to monitor that specific cloud. And then you probably got some sort of traditional NMS or NPM solution to monitor your on-prem hardware. And you've probably got something that's reporting on application or infrastructure performance across one or more of these environments. And so what we found is that when you're under the gun trying to solve a problem, it can be a real pain to try to use these tools in tandem to arrive at a root cause. They've got to be set up properly and maintained, often across different siloed teams. And then when they don't work with each other, what that might mean is that you've got to be an Excel ninja to put together and draw conclusions from the data. And all this wastes, your company's time and money, which really hurts because it's likely that you found yourself managing a hybrid IT infrastructure because someone at your company was banking on saving money or increasing your operational agility. So hybrid maps is an answer to this problem. It's a place for you or your teams to share a common understanding of your infrastructure without sacrificing the depth or breadth needed by all network teams to solve problems and close those gaps in visibility and intelligence. So you can see these elements that we discussed earlier here in our demo environment. We've separated out the hybrid maps to show the interconnectedness of a modern digital enterprise. You've got your on-prem network and the on-prem block, shown by sites and the connectivity between each. You've got your VPCs that you run in the cloud and the internet itself. You can see that between each of these blocks, hybrid maps shows you the current bandwidth flowing to and from each of these elements. So, for instance, you can see the traffic between your VPCs and your on-prem network, or your VPCs and the internet, and of course, between your on-prem network and the internet itself. Everything you see here is clickable and serves as a good place to jump into traffic-based investigations. So for example, up here on the internet block, we can see that the top source and destination networks are listed that your environments are interacting with. We can also break that out by providers or next hop networks as well. For instance, let's go back here and pick on Zayo. Clicking on Zayo tells us how much traffic we're sending to and from this network. We can modify the query here by using the drop-down to see the traffic broken out by site or by application. If you dismiss the ASN popover, you can see that you've also got some traffic indicators here that point out the top sites where you see this traffic coming from or going to. You can use these for quick identification and exploring your network So, for example, if you wanted to see which sites directly connect to your various providers, you can just select a provider from the Provider tab of the Internet block. I'll go ahead and click Cogent, for example. And here we can see that Cogent is directly connected in 2 places on my network. One over in my Kentik SP-ORD1 site and my Acme_DFW1 site. We can also drill down into our environment using the hybrid map. Here we can see how a small data center site looks like when we've defined a site architecture within Kentik. Defining an architecture allows you to see how devices are plugged together and display that in such a way that's familiar to you or other engineers that build or maintain this site. And this means that we can click on elements within the site topology to answer important questions like what kind of external traffic is on this particular device, or what are the top IPs that are sending traffic through it. Let's take a minute and see how we actually build these site architectures. So I'm going to go back to the hybrid map here, and I'm going to select a site that has not yet been defined. I'm going to click View Topology, and then click Configure Site. And that opens up our site editor, where I'll click Edit Architecture. This gives me a menu of options that I can use to define my site. And if my site isn't represented here in the various options, don't worry about it. You can define a completely custom template that will work for you as well. Or you can modify something that exists already. So I'll choose here a 4-stage Clo data center fabric. And I'm going to actually add a layer here because I have a 4-stage network in my demo environment, but I do not have one that represents one with an edge layer as well. So I've created a new layer. I'm going to call this layer Edge. And then to add devices, I simply have to type a part of the name that defines the device role, like Edge, and then hit Select All. And I'll just continue and do this for the rest of these layers here. So Super and Spine and Leaf. Tour. Once I'm done, I just hit Save Architecture. And save again. So you can see how quickly we're able to define these site architectures. Now, let's take a quick look at some of the capabilities that we have inside the resulting site detail view. For instance, I'll select this edge device. As you can see, like before, the hybrid map instantly shows you what's connected, which means, what you can click on to learn more about. It also gives you some interesting ready-to-go queries that tells you things like the total amount of external traffic or the amount of traffic coming into this device via connected devices. And then we break that traffic down further by application, by IP, by ASN, and by interface. But what if you're troubleshooting a report of some spotty performance on some applications running over this network? You'll probably have to check to see if you have any interfaces in the data path that are seeing errors or drops increment. And that's really easy to do on the hybrid map as well. So we'll just simply click on the link connecting that device to another device where we think the traffic is flowing, and then we'll click on the Counters tab. So what do we see here? To begin with, you can see some of the important details that distinguish this connection to another connection, as well as things like the interface IP, the capacity of that interface, the network boundary, and the connectivity type. And then below here, we've got all the counters that show the current amount of traffic, as well as any errors or discards that we might see on input or output. As you can see, everything looks fine here. Let's go even deeper. We know that network engineers often need to focus in on specific elements of data while troubleshooting or planning their network. When you're looking at a specific device, you want to clear away the clutter of the network and focus in on that. Let me show you what I mean. And I'm going to select this device. The device topology helps bring clarity to your network architecture. You'll know exactly what ports are connected upstream, what ports are connected downstream, or even parallel to a device. We can show you the interfaces that are connected to hosts or other devices that aren't monitored by Kentik at all today inside the unknown connected interfaces as well. Clicking on an interface shows you what that device is connected to and gives you a nice pop-up that allows you to do further analysis. Don't see what you're looking for in this menu? Not a problem. You can just click on the Open an Explorer options on any one of these popovers, where you'll be allowed to do some more advanced analysis. As you can see here, this brings me to the Data Explorer, and we've pre-crafted a query for you that allows you to dig into your data super easily. Here's an example. So now we've shown you how you can use the hybrid map to do advanced traffic analysis on your on-prem infrastructure. Let's take a look at how we can use it to do the same in your cloud. Let's take a look at our Amazon traffic. Clicking on the Amazon logo shows all the sites that are doing traffic to or from Amazon right now. But what if we want to see traffic of a specific sort? Maybe you want to see traffic that matches a specific IP address or an application. We can do that too. We'll just add a filter in our sidebar. So I'll add an ad hoc query. I'll just keep this simple and choose an application. And say maybe we just want to see for the sites that are pinging Amazon right now. So I apply. And we can see now exactly which sites are sending ICMP traffic to Amazon. Also, notice that our bandwidth numbers have changed to reflect the total bytes to and from each block that match this particular kind of traffic. Just like our on-prem sites, we can drill into our clouds as well. To do so, just click on the cloud and then select View Cloud Topology for a view of your subnets and regions. Be sure to check back here in a few weeks as we build out the same depth and breadth of visibility into your cloud infrastructure that we put into your on-prem sites. Thank you very much for your time, and please do remember to check us out at www.kentik.com or join us on Slack.